Hello, how are you? Do you feel like going a little bit crazy wacko today?
Crazy
because I do. How many inner monologues do you usually have speaking over one another inside your little head? This is a serious question. I really want to know how many voices you have in your head at once. Feel free to leave a comment about it. I have noticed that I usually have two voices in my head at any moment of the day. Usually one is nonsense and the other one is sense. Sometimes both are nonsense. Sometimes both are sense. Sometimes there's a third, and that's when I'm really buzzing. That's when I'm really buzzing in the noggin. But usually it's two. A lot of times one of them is just counting. 1, 2, 3,
while the other one has big important thoughts like, I wonder when war is really just
1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes it's a melody, sometimes it's in 3/4 instead of 4/4. Sometimes it's counting all the way to 100. Sometimes it's just saying like ones and zeros, or I don't know, doing something else. But it's usually counting. A lot of times my second voice, the background voice, the counting voice, it might be waltzing internally. Waltzing, especially if I'm in 3/4, there's an ambiguous, non-specific sort of waltz going on. And I feel like I'm floating in the brain, while the louder voice is like thinking about something relevant, what I'm doing with my hands, what I'm doing next, what I'm reading, what I'm actually consuming and listening to at the moment. Sometimes my primary voice will be kind of responding to that or engaging with that, while the background voice counts, waltzes, meanders through its itinerary of nonsense. But I really am curious.
All lower ourselves to be villains.
How many voices do you
to
have
die as villains?
in your
Is
head
it possible to
right
be
now?
a just society?
Whenever you read a book and your eyes go from word to 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 word, do you say the word? Do you hear the word in your head? Or do you just kind of see it and consume it? I do not hear what I read when I read. I just see it and consume it. And it's much faster for me than if I were to hear it while I read. And because I just kind of see and consume the idea of every letter on the page, every word on the page, every sentence, my brain has room to say other things in the background, like, what a beautiful day it is outside. I can't believe that character did that. I wouldn't organize that sentence grammatically in such a strange structure. This author isn't as good as the last author I read. Oh, but this paragraph is hot. I have room because I'm consuming ideas visually. I can't have a separate monologue
unhot.
that I'm kind of hearing.
He was always going to be a slave,
while I
and so
read.
was Juliet. The fact that Juliet doesn't realize
Every
that
brain
Romeo would be different
conceives
with a
of
different name
itself
is like pretty
little
lame
bit
privilege.
differently.
Like if Juliet's name was Gretchen,
Because
if Romeo's name
there's the way that our brains work
was Rombo,
as a species.
then
All
it
of
would
us
not
kind of have the same
as
walnut,
magnetic.
but the way we think of our walnut
I personally
is kind of cultural, sociological. It has to do with what we know scientifically and how we are raised to think about our walnut.
And you talk about it like it's a brain.
And
that's called sympathetic folklore.
What do we think is happening in our head kind of as a way of actually manifesting because of like neuroplasticity or whatever.
That looks like it, the brain
If you think your brain works one way,
folklore, it's
your brain will kind of reinforce
pumpkins to help your immune system.
And that's
that
a
is
pretty cool thing about brains. I kind of want to look inside of
Do you
yours.
know why?
Honestly.
Because pumpkins have really
To
hard
be real,
skin.
I wish I could just
And so the idea is that they'll
crack
give you better
your brain
defenses
open
against various pathogens because
take
they
a
are
look
strong.
inside. What would I see if I cracked open your brain?
Eating
Huh?
them for your immune system. What is
What
that?
would I see in
What
your
is that?
walnut?
What is that?
Would I
Were you
see
listening? Were you paying attention? It's
dinosaurs?
sympathetic folklore. Sympathetic folklore. Hey, are you focusing what's inside of your brain? Is it lots of sympathetic folklore? What's inside of your brain? Can you hear yourself?
Inside of your walnut would I see lush green grasses of the valley where you grew up? Would I see rivers and rain? Would I see a castle? Would I see files organized of all your childhood memories, divided by emotion, your shameful memories here, your proud memories here, your embarrassing memories here, and all the times you got butterflies in high school over there.
I believe you did that.
And all the times you got butterflies in college over there.
Did that.
And all the times you felt weird because you should have gotten butterflies, but you didn't because someone's breath was stinky right there.
Ew,
How many times did that happen to you?
Me. You.
How relatable. Wow, you're so relatable. Have you ever thought about, like, monetizing that?
Get your bag.
Your relatability. I'm just wondering.
I'm just wondering. It was just a question.
What would I see if I cracked open that walnut?
Snap, crackle, pop.
Walnut.
Snap, crackle, pop. Snap, crackle.
Have you ever had an MRI before? I have, on my brain, because I was taking a part in a study. I was being studied, and my brain was very normal, I think. They didn't actually tell me the results because I don't think as a participant in the study, I don't think I was privy to any extraordinary results.
They didn't tell me anything, which I am guessing means that there was nothing extraordinary at all about my brain or concerning.
Whenever you sing in your head, is there a harmony that you can also hold inside of your brain at the same time? Did you know that research on spiders suggests that they consider their web a sort of limb of theirs, that they identify with their web as if it's part of their body, as if it's part of their body, and they have a sense of self throughout their entire web. Whenever I am asked about what's on my left, or what side of me is left and what is right, whenever I have to distinguish between my left and right side, I know that this is my right side because it feels more alive. I have a sense of aliveness on the right side of my body and a sense of dullness on the left side of my body because I'm right-handed, because I'm right side dominant like most people are. I have a sense of aliveness over here, so that must be my right side. And this sense of aliveness that I have, I imagine that sense of aliveness when I try to empathize with how spiders feel about their web. that they have a sense of aliveness
it would mean I
throughout
managed to reality
not just
switch,
their body, but their web as well.
I did,
Like it's part of them.
believe it.
Much more than just a house or a comfy seat.
If I found out that was real,
Probably
I would have to
something
change my
like
belief system
how
if I woke up as a left-handed person.
Sword master
Reality switching is real.
feels about
And that would mean that I should be going to tech
Stubby.
for spiritual
sword.
advice, which would be an absolute paradigm.
Do you have
shift.
anything like that? Something that you've projected your consciousness
That would
into?
be a paradigm
An
shift,
extra limb,
if you
perhaps
believe in it.
a pen.
Like,
I think
if you
many
learn
literate
that your
humans
grandmother was the
feel
best source
that
of
way
news
about
instead of the real news.
the
That would be a
pen.
paradigm shift, right?
or their
Like,
preferred
what if you
writing
learned
utensil.
that you spoke?
Perhaps
What if you learned that you
a
spoke
keyboard,
Spanish
although
rather
that's a
than you
bit
spoke
different
English?
because you just tap it, you
Even though
don't
your
move
native
it.
language is English,
I do
that would be
not
a
feel
paradigm
that way
shift.
about umbrellas, but thank you for asking. I've never felt like an umbrella's another limb. They're actually quite obnoxious to deal with. No umbrella is good enough. They always have problems. They're too big, they're too small, they don't come out the way you want them to come out. They're like weird.
Umbrellas suck.
They don't shake off easily. They're too cumbersome. They're all
Umbrellas
wrong.
terminally
There's
suck.
never been a good enough umbrella.
Umbrellas
Not in my opinion.
terminally suck.
I have a feeling you are a many-brained person with many monologues going on at once. Lately, I have noticed that listening to content is annoying. It's annoying because my multiplicity of monologues want room to breathe, and I love listening to YouTube yap sessions and news and video essays and blah 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 blah. But lately it's all just been annoying to me. The noise of it has been annoying, which is one of the reasons I like ASMR, because it's not quite as noisy. And whenever I listen to ASMR, I feel like my brain has room to breathe and to think my own multiplicity of soliloquies and monologues. I have a question. Your internal monologue, if you do have one, or two, or five, are they in different places? Or are they all just right there? Are they all just right there? Or is one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one there, one there? Where are they at?
Like an angel and the devil.
I feel like mine are kind of just overlaid on top of one another.
Or maybe a god
Overlaid constantly.
and a devil below.
Flipping
Mine
in
are
and
like
out of supremacy in my head.
Consciousness is like an onion.
But I'm always curious about how other people's brains feel.
Although it's more like
Because I think how your brain
that are
feels,
stacked on top of each other.
how it feels
And then they stick
to be
forward
you
and
inside of
if you
your
want
brain,
more,
where your emotions are in your head.
Like maybe one is
I think it says a lot
blue,
about you
strawberry,
as a
chocolate
person.
chip.
It says a lot about you if you are aware of the way your mind feels.
And the bliss.
It says so much. The feeling of being you. It's just your own universe. No one feels the way it feels to be you. Except for you.
Thinks
That's why it's interesting. Genuinely, to me, I think it's interesting because
you are alone in this world, my friend.
Are experiencing the world
And that's
in such a unique way. No one has what you have in your head except for you. And I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with you, and not even like an ASMR, like a clickbaity way. Like, I am obsessed with you.
Chosen yourself by accident.
I'm obsessed with you and also all of you.
Kind of. Because you're still here.
And I mean that on multiple levels.
So think about thinking.
Because there are more than one of you, but also within you specifically, there's more than one of you. Because there's more than one of me, at least. But I know some people don't even have an inner monologue.
Or are you like a castle? Are you like a birthday cake?
I don't know what to do with you. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what to do with you. You're beyond my comprehension. I'm curious. I'm interested. I'm obsessed. Queen, slay with your nothing. But I don't know what to do with you. What's going on in there? I know there's something, but I'm so curious about how there's nothing.
There?
I guess.
Must be something.
Nothing.
When you read, do you...
Nothing.
If you have no inner monologue, what is reading like?
It's okay.
Does it just translate into
whether you have a big old nothing hole in your head, or whether you have multiple overlaying voices. Somehow, either way, your brain knows how to slow them down. Slow each and every monologue down until one stops them down, and then another one flickers out. And then before you know it, you're not thinking, and you're just listening. You're just listening while I sweep your thoughts away. Sweep your thoughts away. Sweep. Goodbye, thoughts. Farewell. Have a nice journey down to hell. Or heaven. I just wanted to say hell because it rhymed. Goodbye, thoughts. Farewell. Have a nice journey down to hell. Goodbye, thoughts. Farewell. Have a nice journey down to hell. And then all you're doing is listening and sinking and getting nice and cozy and comfy in your boudoir. Under your covers. Maybe you're sitting at a desk. Maybe you're sitting on a bus after a long day of work and you can't wait to get home and scratch your head. Once you're out of the public eye. It will feel so good to be home, to be relaxed, where you can finally close your eyes in peace and just lose awareness of your surroundings and go to sleep. Go to sleep. Lay your heavy head down, 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 and go to sleep. It'll feel so good. I know it will, because I've been I've been there, just wanting the busyness of the day to fade away. Wanting the busyness of the day to fade away. wanting the noise to end. The noise, the grind. Just wanting to relax in a peaceful silence. To relax in bliss. Bliss. And float, float, float away into blackness and darkness. Can you imagine your thoughts kind of coming together in an airy cloud and then just puff, 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 floating away? That's how it feels sometimes in my head when I'm drifting. And it's almost like that cloud is rocking my head in different directions, lifting me up into the great dream, lifting me up into space, into sleep, dropping me gently, lifting and dropping, kind of like I'm in the sea. I do usually personally feel more of an airy quality about it though, like I'm floating in the wind. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And my inner monologues become whoosh and peace. And every now and then some random clarity pops through. 8 a.m. email. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Get these socks off my feet. Whoosh. Toes wriggling, getting the socks off. Whoosh. 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 Do I need to check my phone? Whoosh. No, I don't. I'm falling asleep right now. Whoosh. 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 What am I forgetting? Whoosh. Whoosh. Probably whoosh. Nothing important. Whoosh. If it were important, surely I'd remember. Surely I'd remember. Whoosh. Am I in whoosh? Costa Rica? Whoosh. No, I'm not. Whoosh. Why would I be whoosh in Costa Rica? Whoosh. I am whoosh in my bed. Safe and quiet and falling, 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 asleep.